Get out a pencil and paper, please. Okay, write down. First quarter, gone. First quarter, 2011, gone. Write it down. Write it down. Put a circle around it and a line. Now write down 11 days, 11 work days, right below that, 11 work days of the second quarter. Put a circle around it, write it, gone. Now here's a question. You said in the first quarter that you were going to make this many calls, talk to this many people, learn this many objection handlers, knock on that many doors. Did you do it? First quarter. Okay? Not a lot of hands. Not any hands. So we talked about it at the end of the first quarter and said, okay, erase that. You now have a second chance. Another opportunity. Second quarter is upon us. Make commitments. Decide what you want to do. Focus on the activities. I'm going to hit this many doors. I'm going to talk to this many people. I'm going to learn these objection handlers. So my question is, in the first 11 days of the second quarter, how you doing? Are you on track?
Yep.
Yes.
2, 3? How many? Raise your hand. Oh my gosh. Okay, we got 5 or 6, 7 or 8. I like that. I don't know if there's a question about whether the blitzes work. I don't know if sometimes there's a, Neil wants us to do these activities, but, for some reason, I don't know, maybe you guys think I'm lying to you, and I'm saying that these things, if you do them, they work. And for some reason, I think you kind of look at me and say, I don't know if I believe him. I don't know if that's really true. I don't know if these things really work. So I kind of wanted to share a couple of thoughts with you on that this morning. And we're working on gathering more. But here's 2 examples of whether the blitzes and door knocking work. This agent back in July was doing door knocking around some previews. Around previews, by the way. Previewing property and door knocking. An activity that every single one of you does on a regular basis, right? Say yes.
Yes.
You're lying. And he said, as I was exiting the house, a person pulled up and asked if he was a realtor. He disclosed to me that he was an investor and that he had an agent, and asked if I wouldn't mind showing him the house. Well, since I was there already, said I agreed to show him the property. Now, he did disclose he was an investor, and he disclosed that he was working with somebody, all right? But yet, this agent, our agent, took that moment to work with the client, show him that piece of property, take an extra few minutes. Not his listing. This was a preview. Went through it. And our agent said, look, would you do me a favor? The next time you're going to do a transaction, especially if you're going to do it on this house, would you at least consider me and give me a call? That was the request. Okay? 2 days later, our agent got a phone call. And since then, since July, this agent has closed 5 escrows with this person. 5 escrows since July from previewing property picked up the client. Okay, it's a fluke. Things like that don't normally happen, right? So we have another agent in the office who typically doesn't blitz, typically doesn't door knock, and typically doesn't phone call. This agent, some of you know, on their 100th door a few weeks ago, because they were only going to hit, they called up and they said, look, I'm on door 90 and I want to stop. And we said, no, you committed to 100, go to the 100th door. By the way, just for the record, they weren't on door 90, they were on door 85. But they said they were on door 90. Okay? No one's ever done that before, right? So they went the other 15 doors, in truth, and ended up with a listing appointment, and 2 or 3 weeks later, after some follow-up, ended up with a listing. Same person who doesn't normally come to the blitzes and only came to this last Friday's blitz. I don't know. Not sure why.
I was dragged here.
And was doing some phone calls. Her phone rang, and the man said, somebody from this number called me. Serena said, well, it was me. I'm looking for buyers and sellers that might want to buy and sell houses. The guy said, wow, this is awesome. I want to sell my house. At which point she's looking around for one of you agents.
He's playing a trick.
Somebody's playing a trick on me. When can we get together, they asked. Do you have time Monday at 6 or would 7 be better? That's their script. Now she's really looking around. Okay? Because she knows you guys are playing tricks on her, right? Say yes.
Yep.
However, she did ask a few qualifying questions.
All of them.
All of the qualifying questions, because she was very skeptical. Person answered them satisfactorily. And she went out, and the listing that Serena pitched this morning, the one that needed some work that's probably going to sell, is a little bit under market in one of our local markets right here.
And the commission 6%.
As a full commission property that she got the listing on from doing the activities just the other day. Give her a big hand. Come on.
It works. I'll be here.
It works, I'll be here. Good job.
Yep.
Look. I wrote down here, do you ever get sick and tired of whining about not being successful? I gotta tell you something. I'm getting sick and tired of hearing you whining about not being successful. On a plate, we bring it to you every day, every week, every month. If we're top-heavy in expenses in this company, it is in management and coaching help to help you do your job. We don't cut there. We might cut other places, but that's not one. Okay? If anything, we're top-heavy. My goal is to help you achieve your goals. And I got to tell you something, I'm getting a little sick and tired of people whining and complaining that they're not hitting their goals. Because when you come tell me, or you come tell Bill or Al or Frank that you didn't or are not hitting your goals, and we ask you a question like, hey, did you preview property this week? Hey, did you do your door knocking? You know, I went through all the numbers analyzers last night. Everyone that from what I could see had worked on it and done some work on it and made some notes and sent you some very interesting emails. And I was, I'm working on writing this, and I'm seeing some of the things, and some of you have done a great job, a really great job. And some of you are falling a little bit flat. And then I look at that and I look at the first quarter's income and I say, whoa, you're not doing the activities and you're not making any money. Well, there's a correlation there. And yet you're complaining about not being successful. I wrote down here, you are where you are because it's okay with you. You are where you are because it's okay with you. You've accepted mediocrity, and yet you complain. You complain you're not making 6 figures. You complain and you're bitter about other people's successes. You complain and you make excuses for not being successful. There isn't one of you that doesn't know what it takes to be successful. There isn't one of you here that doesn't know the activities necessary to be successful at the highest level. You know, if you think I'm beating you up, you're right. You're right. You're right. I am. Because there's not one of you that can't be achieving the goals that you set out. There's nothing special about special people, except that they do certain activities on a regular basis. I wrote down here, mindset makes a difference. Write that down. Your mindset makes a difference. It's the difference between average agents and superstar agents. I wrote down here, the difference comes from these 6 words. You can write them down. They come from your attitude. It comes from the way you approach your clients and the way you approach your business, the way you approach problems in life. The 3rd word is expectations. What you expect from the prospecting period. What you expect from the goals that you set. What you expect from the time that you're working on it. What you expect from that presentation. The 4th word is energy. The next word is enthusiasm. And the last word, and we talked about it earlier, is complacency. The 6th word is complacency. On paper, the Lakers cannot be beat. On paper, the Lakers should be three-peat. On paper, they are the best team in the league times 2 or 3. And yet, they lost last night. Because of this. Because of the mental side. Not because of their skills. Because of the mental side. That's what happens to each and every one of us. Let's take a minute and let me go through each one of these words. Write them down. Let's start with attitude. Attitude is how I see and perceive and feel things. The attitude is how I see things, how I perceive it, how I feel it. I wrote down here, you have control over your attitude. You have total control over your attitude. Total control over your attitude. If you can't control your attitude and keep positive, you will have negative results. I wrote down here, the starting point for all success is the formulation of a good attitude. Zig Ziglar says, it's our attitude, not our aptitude, that determines our altitude in life. It's our attitude, not our aptitude, that determines our altitude in life. Here's a good question for you. How many people, or how many of you know someone with a poor attitude? Everybody knows someone with a poor attitude, right? Say yes.
Yes.
Do you like being around them? No. You don't like being around them. You do not like being around them. Yet, the superstars all have a great attitude, don't they? Every superstar you meet, every agent you meet that does business in a high volume has a great attitude. If you don't have a great attitude, you need to change your attitude, and you need to change it now. Or stop beating yourself up and get out of the business. Because without a good attitude, the base of this whole thing, you're just going to continue to be frustrated through the entire business process. Stop it. Stop beating yourself up. You know, get out, go to work at Starbucks. By the way, does Starbucks hire people with bad attitudes?
No.
Well, they might hire them, but do they keep them?
No.
No way. Couldn't even get a job at Starbucks. Hello? Nordstrom's. Nordstrom salespeople have bad attitudes? No way. And if they do, they don't keep them. Real estate agent has a bad attitude? They get promoted to management. No, 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 no. I wrote down here, the second word is approach. Approach. How I look makes a difference. What I say makes a difference. How I approach you, how I approach the problem makes a difference. If I am more confident with how I look and what I say, will I do more? Yes. Say yes.
Yes.
Of course I will. If I feel good about me, then I'm going to do more. So to feel good about me, I better look the part, I better act the part, and I better know what to say and how to say it. I wrote down here, if you walk up to a home and you stand upright, you look professional, you have a smile on your face, you know what to say and you know how to say it, and you have some market knowledge, how more often do you tend to want to do that? And how receptive are the clients? A lot more, right? Okay, let's reverse it. If you walk up disheveled, if you're approaching it not very nicely looking, if you are kind of tired, if you have low energy, if you're thinking about all the personal problems and your business problems, you don't have a smile on your face, you have a scowl on your face. So, do you want to sell or what? Well, they really want to work with you, don't they? You know what I'm saying here? I wrote down next one. Expectations. What are your expectations for prospecting? What are your expectations for your presentation? What are your expectations for your life? Low or no expectations means anything I do will be okay. Remember I said, you are where you are because it's okay with you. Because I'm here to tell you, if it's not okay with you, at that moment, you say, that's it, I'm not taking this anymore, I'm going to change. You've had that experience when all of a sudden you put on a suit and it doesn't fit. You have that experience when your children are giving you trouble. You have that experience as it's April 18th and your taxes are due and you don't have the money to pay them. It's all a choice. The only reason you don't have the money to pay your taxes is because you didn't do what you were supposed to do last year. Now that includes earning money and putting it away. Earning the money and putting it away. You will pay taxes. You will. It's part of the deal. It's the price that we pay for living in this great country. It's the rent we pay for that. And there's nothing wrong with it. And the more money you make, it's true, the tax brackets go up, but you know, at some point, they stop, the brackets stop, and you make more. Okay? If you make $1 million, you'll take home a good amount of it. If you make $5 million, you'll take home a good amount of it. If you make $20,000, you don't take home much. Okay? That's just the bottom line. You pay little, you make little. You make little, you pay little. I wrote down here, I must raise my expectations. Set them a little higher every day to build confidence. Set your expectations higher a little bit every day to build your confidence. If you expect success, you will find it. If you expect success, you will find it. If you expect to find business, you will find it. We run the stats every day. We run the stats every week. We run the stats every month. Because the question is, are there sales being done out there? And as long as there's sales being done out there, and I do what I'm supposed to do on a daily, weekly basis, I'm going to get my percentage of those sales. If there's sales being done out there and I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing on a daily, weekly basis, I am not going to get my percentage. It's that simple. You've got to figure out how to make the connection between activity equals compensation. No activity, no compensation. High activity, high compensation. Get that in your heads. I wrote down here, number 4, enthusiasm. Energy. No, I wrote down enthusiasm, then I have energy. So if I did it backwards, I apologize. I wrote down enthusiasm. Smiling and laughing is what people like. Smiling and laughing is what people like. We already said we don't like it when people are down, depressed. We don't like to be around them. People want to be around people who are smiling, who are happy. Yeah, business is bad. So what? If I do my job, I'm going to make some money. If you keep talking about business being bad, do you think people want to hang around you? No way. I certainly don't want to be around you. I don't need to be reminded of that. Okay? I don't need to be reminded how difficult it is to close a transaction today. I know how difficult it is. Even the easy ones are a pain. Even the ones that are super simple are a problem. Even the cash transactions somehow get screwed up. It's part of the business. So what? Keep your enthusiasm alive by setting goals that excite us. Keep your enthusiasm alive by setting goals that excite us. People want to be around people who are enthusiastic. People want to be around people who are excited. Now, if I come in here and I do a sales meeting about this level for 20 or 30 minutes, how excited and enthusiastic do you think you're going to be? Anybody? It's me. If I did that one time, you'd laugh at me. That'd be funny, right? Say yes. Yes. If I did it twice, I'd be by myself. Nobody'd be laughing because nobody'd be here. Same rule applies with your clients. Be enthusiastic. Be excited about the business. The business is terrific. Let me tell you something. There is no place on this planet that we can make the kind of money that we make, have the life that we have for ourselves and our family in any other business that I know of with as low of investment that we have to put into to get into this business. You think about how much money you invested to get a license, to get licensed, to join the board, and get going in this business. How much? $600? $800? $1,000? $2,000? Maybe somebody went out and bought a suit, $3,000. This is ridiculous. You want to open a restaurant? $5,000 to $50,000, maybe $1 million. You want to open a clothing store? First and last month's rent, and then you got to have $500,000 worth of inventory. You want to open a salon for hair? Costs a fortune. You want to do an eyeglass store? Costs a fortune. And you can make hundreds of thousands of dollars, even millions in this business. People in this company are making 7 figures in the worst economy that we've seen probably since the Depression. And they don't have any special REO accounts. They don't have any special deals. Most of them, all they're doing is door knocking, following up, being enthusiastic, being excited. I wrote down here the next word is energy. How you are behaving at any given moment. Is there any pep in your step? Or do you kind of walk around, see, I watch some of you guys walking from door to door. Some of you are like, wow, I can't wait till they get next deal, next opportunity, next lead. And some of you are just going, oh, jeez, man, gotta keep doing this. He's killing me. I've knocked on 12 doors. My knuckles hurt. My feet are killing me. I got to find a new pair of shoes. Can't afford a new pair, but I don't know where I'm going to get them. Energy. 5 ways to develop more energy, real quick. Control what you think about. Control what you think about. Exercise every day, preferably in the morning. Exercise every day, preferably in the morning. For me to work out, do my job in the morning, and get here and be in this office ready to do this presentation, I'm up at 5:15 in the morning. Now I know that's not early for some of you, and it's quite early for others. But for me to do that, I have to get up at 5:15 in the morning, which means that I have to go to bed the night before 1 o'clock in the morning. I don't get to see Leno and all these other guys, I don't get to do that. Or stay up late and have a couple cocktails. You can't do that. You got to go to bed early. You got to read. You got to learn. You got to pour good things into your head. I wrote down here, you got to control what you eat. You got to control what you eat. Underline that, how much you eat also. It's not just what you eat, it's how much you eat of it. I wrote down here, control what you drink. Stop the soda, stop the diet sodas. Have more water. If you'll notice at my desk, there are 2 liters of water every day put on my desk. My goal is to finish those before the end of the day. Bring the water in, put it at your desk. Drink water. Drink it. By the way, the more water you drink, the less food takes up some room in your stomach. It's kind of like a neat thing. Okay? That works out pretty good. I wrote down here, watch who you spend time with. You want more energy? There are energy drainers out there like crazy. Sometimes they come in the form of family. Okay? But there are energy drainers. If there are energy drainers in your life, move away from them. Spend less time with them. The next word I wrote down here is complacency. Complacency, I wrote down, is the destroyer of results. Complacency is the destroyer of results. When you are satisfied with what you have and who you are, and nothing else is needed, and you figured it all out, that's the day you're in big trouble. That's complacency. I'm okay with it. Remember I said, you are where you are because it's okay with you. Well, it's not okay with me. I see so much talent, so much growth, so much ability in each and every one of you. It makes me crazy